Okay, this is just a rundown of the Genesis 8 horns pack. First off, where can you find it? Obviously under the People's Directory, Genesis 8 female, and obviously if you're got the male horns as well, you'll find it in the male directory. Now you'll find it under Anatomy, and there'll be another directory called Midnight Story, my vendor name. And then under that you'll find Universal horns. Now the first thing you'll see are the 12 sets of horns. I've increased them from 7 on the last lot to 12. Just wanted to give a bit more variety in this one. Now I would advise not to use the ones in the base directory. I would go to the wearable ones. Why is that? Because the wearable ones have the morphs that will automatically conform. So as you'll see here, I'll drag on the horns, so that's the bull horns. You can see that the morphs are already applied, and some of these I haven't got a base morph set to them. I figure because it was just easier to do the morphs for it. So under shaping you'll see there'll be an adjustment one, which is more or less for moving it out and just fitting the horns a bit better. And then you'll then under styles you'll see with the different morphs. Now one thing I'm going to warn you straight up: only apply one morph at a time. So curl down, right out. Now if you try applying them both at once, it's going to do some weird looking horns, so keep that in mind on every one that you do. If you stick with that, just one morph per set, you'll be fine. So each horn set should have, I should have probably 5 or so. Some will have less, and some will probably have up to 12, you know. But it's basically adjustments for, you know, just the finer tweaking on different shapes and that. Right, now if you've finished with your set of horns, basically you want to apply another set. Easiest thing to do is just select your horns and just delete, and you'll see the morphs are still applied to it. So what you want to do is there's a pose directory, and this will zero it out. Oops. This will zero it out once you apply it, and that's the quickest and easy way to do it. And then you'll just say come back down to your next set of horns, drag them on, and that's the way that I think is the easiest way to jump between each horn set. Like these, again, adjustments, and these will have different little morphs. It's up to you guys, but remember, always keep it at one at a time. with the morphs. So we'll just delete that. What I'm doing here is using the actual the material selector because it's easy. It swaps between. You tend not to be able to select objects, wearable objects on characters, and using the material select will swap between the wearable object and the actual parent object. So we'll just run through a few of these. That was the deer horns. That's the simple devil horns. Some goat horns. Hell horns. Now, with some of these horns, they're interchangeable. And we'll go to the material directory, and under there you'll see usually each set has its own material groups, but there's one just called horns, and these are interchangeable. So like the bullhorn, all these horns, you can apply these are the ones you can apply them to. So if we just put on the bullhorn, so it gives you a bit more variety in the so that'll be up to you guys. The rest you can't really interchange them. I think maybe the jeweled horns you might be able to. So we'll just go back to doing the horn tour. So again, some of these come in with no really default morphs on them. That's just to make it easy for you guys. So we'll go back into shaping, styles. I think, what's a good one? So you can have different this one here is an interchangeable one too. It'll just swap between the different horns as well. So we'll just delete you. Longhorns. And again, I just encourage you not to combine. You can probably combine some of the adjustable ones. Well, this one doesn't need any adjustments on it. It's a straight up front one. Where were we? Longhorns was the last one. Now it does have a set of geograph horns on it as well. This is the only set, so Now the materials work with whatever is on the face. So if you get say another figures, we'll go up to the materials, say so we'll just go to the Zelda one here, and we'll just apply Zelda to her face, and you'll see that the horns are different material. I think you should be just able to select it and just click on that, and it should load up. If it doesn't, it's probably, no, it won't. So what you're going to have to do is in your material selection, you come over to your main actor, and you're under surfaces, and you've got this face selected. So what you'll have to do is just right click, copy selected surface, click on there, right click again, paste to selected, and that will bring it, get them the same. So make sure that both face materials are the same so that they match. Now this one I tried to do a bit of a Guardians of the Galaxy type of morph. I'm not sure whether that really worked that well. That was only the male hasn't got it, but I only did it at a last minute, and I've thought, wow, why not throw it in? So this one again, just delete, because that one is that one doesn't need any morphs. So we'll just go back to the wearables again. We're at there. So the ram's horn, again, this is an interchangeable one. I put in a sci-fi set. There's I think there's about 5 or 6 material sets with that as well. So if you go into shaping, bend up, yeah, just as standard bending ones, up and down and back and that. Now the tree, I added in a tree one. These actually look nice with with metals on them as well, but you'll have to make sure you use the same transparency map on them. And the last one we've got is like a twisted vine one. This has got not a huge amount of styles and that with it. It's adjustments. I think you can hide the vines and that if you want to, and that'll just give you the old twisted horns like that were in the previous one. But again, you can only use one morph at a time, so, or else you'll have So that's sort of a ram's horn one. So that's just the basic rundown. It's all relatively the same for the male version, and I hope you guys enjoy it. Thanks.